Hi, I wanted to share the recent success story of Joanne. Now, Joanne is the mother of one of our members, and Joanne was concerned about whether she could retire comfortably. She has a substantial value in her home, but she doesn't have many assets outside of that. So she wanted to know, is she spending too much? Could she retire comfortably? Does she need to downsize? Does she swap her place with one of her kids' places so they can retain the home in the family? And she didn't know which scenario or whether she should rent. Amongst all of these uncertainties, she also wanted a new beginning. So we got into the visualize stage to work out what was truly important to her. Now, her kids were the number one, so their happiness was her happiness. But aside from that, she loved spending time with her family, cousins, and sisters. But she also, the biggest thing that we found was this theme of new beginnings. So she wanted to do all these new experiences, make new connections, and also at the same time not be a burden on the family. So now we had to try and incorporate the new beginnings with everything else. So when we got into the solve stage, it was really about crunching five or so different scenarios. Her current scenario versus a renting scenario versus swapping the family home with one of the kids to see how this plan would actually work out. Now, she didn't want to move yet, and she wanted to keep the home in the family for at least the next 2 years. So we decided that she would rent out the granny flat to one of her sons to generate some extra income. In year two, though, that's when she wanted to start exploring the new beginnings. So she worked out that from the visualized meeting, she didn't want to stay in this home and she didn't want to keep it in the family anymore. So in the second year, she would rent where she wanted to live and test out a few scenarios. She would rent out her place and generate some extra income. And then finally, in year three, she would downsize her home, realize enough money to live off for the rest of her life. And therefore, what we found out is actually, if she does that plan, she's spending the right amount and she can retire in the next 2 years. So, the outcomes after all this, after addressing all her concerns about retirement, property, family, she now feels a sense of relief. She's looking forward to new beginnings with optimism and confidence. She knows that she'll have the funds there, so she's not a burden on the kids. And she's getting really excited for all the travel and exploration that she's about to start. So, another success story. All right, cheers.